Quick disclaimer, this video is going to be pretty low effort compared to what you're used to from me, but it is dev content, so that kind of goes without saying. I did say in the A10 video that I didn't really want to cover planes that weren't fully completed, or at least, obviously they're not going to be full completed, but at least the model is somewhat finished and testable. The J8 is going to be an exception here because, well, it's just so new that I have to be one of the first people to cover it. Not going to be a particularly long video though, because like I said, there's not a whole lot to actually test out with the J8. And the reason being is because I assume it's just unfinished. For example, the PL8 missiles that it gets, which I'm pretty sure are Python 3s, if I'm not mistaken, aren't even, they're modeled in the modification screen as an unlockable modification, but they're not actually modeled on the plane, so you cannot use them even though it shows that it will be able to equip them. It also can equip two ASPIDEs, whatever, the new semi-active radar homing missile that the 104 ASA is going to get. It's going to be able to carry two of those, but only two of them, and guns if you carry those. Or you can have the option to carry 4 PL5Bs. I assume when the PL8 is modeled and usable on the plane, it'll be able to carry 4 PL8s as a loadout as well. But you cannot, as of right now, you cannot mix the SAR and the heat-seeking loadout together. The gun appears to be a GSH-23. From what I saw on the X-ray, it's got the same rate of fire as the GSH-23. It sounds like the GSH-23. It's a twin-barreled cannon like the GSH-23 in the X-ray, and it seems like it has the same velocity. I'm not quite sure where to see the velocity, to be honest. I looked at the ammo in the stat card, I looked at the gun in the X-ray, I couldn't find a velocity for whatever reason, but they do feel like GSH-23s. So if you like that cannon, then great. I personally prefer something with a little bit more muzzle velocity, but they do hit pretty hard and will give you consistent kills if you can aim them well. The radar that the J-8B gets also seems to be a placeholder radar. If this is the actual radar, it is completely abysmal and is going to be a real shame for the ASPIDEs. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, but I think they're called ASPIDEs or ASPIDEs, one of those. Which also, that missile is not properly modeled. I think it's just a placeholder as well. It's just a normal AIM-7E model or something like that. And one last thing, the countermeasures, it gets a pretty good amount of countermeasures. You can rewind to the beginning of the battle to see exactly how much it gets. I'm running mixed, so it's half and half, and they deploy just like they do on the MiG-21 BIS, which is nice because I rather like that deployment pattern. Now let's get into what we actually can learn about the J-8B and why I was kind of inspired to make this video. I took this thing into a test flight right away, and man, it was fast. And it was just so fast, it left such a good impression that I actually just ended up comparing it to the Kfir C.7, which everybody knows by now is the fastest top-tier jet in the game. And the numbers are actually quite surprising. Keep in mind that while I tried to make these results as consistent as I possibly could, I am only human. I swear I'm only human, and the results cannot be 100% consistent and accurate, but I think it is going to give you a pretty good idea and a general consensus as to the speed of these aircraft. So just taking off from the runway, I started the timer right when I started throttling up, and I counted all of the rolling, the liftoff, and all the way up to Mach 1. And the J8 was able to do that in 49.21 seconds, whereas the Kfir did 0 to Mach 1 in 50.4, so it was less than a second faster than the Kfir, 0 to Mach 1, but that's where the victories end. Going up to 2,000 meters at 500 kilometers an hour to Mach 1, the J8 did it in 31.55 seconds, and the Kfir was able to do that in 26.33 seconds. Same with 5,000 meters altitude at Mach 1.0 to 1.3. The J8 did it in just 34.9 seconds, which is pretty impressive, but the Kfir C.7 still managed to do that in 26.33 seconds. So yeah, the J-8B is really fast. It's quite impressive speed, especially compared to a lot of the other top tier jets, but it is not quite the king of speed at top tier. The J8 is going to have the Python 3s, which I think they're Python 3s, forgive me if I'm wrong, but PL8s. And that's kind of annoying because the Kfir C.7 should honestly get them first, but it is what it is. Maybe they'll add them together. Either way, it's going to be a pretty damn good top tier, and if you want to grind for it, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But that's going to be it for the video. Not a whole lot to talk about. Like I said, most of it's not really modeled. And to be honest, not a whole lot has changed on the second dev server as far as I can tell. And not much new has been added. So this will probably be the only video I do of the second dev server. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from the video. And most importantly, I hope I'll see you in the next one. See ya.